Good morning, everyone. Hey, how we doing? A great day. Thursday, 25th. We got some movement, fellas. We got some movement. Yeah, pretty crazy after yesterday. I kind of thought we were just gonna chop around and do nothing, but this is a lot of bars that have formed overnight. A lot of bars, and we're actually trending upwards here. Hey Ryan, thank you. I am feeling better, getting a little bit better every day. Unfortunately, I didn't get a ton of sleep last night. That would have helped, but still doing good. Got my water, got my tea, so I think we're gonna be all right. Hey Pete, good morning. Good morning. Anyone else out there? What's up? Feel free to say hey this morning as you pop in. Oh man, sorry to hear that, Dylan. Yep, have some tea, get some rest. Definitely don't try to trade if you're not feeling super well. Morning, Grandpa Roger. But yeah, I heard there's been some colds going around for sure. Literally everyone in actually my wife hasn't had it yet. Cross our fingers, knock on wood. That won't happen. That'll be miserable. But both my kids got it. I got it, so it's going around for sure. Well, let's take a look at the action, guys. I mean, we for sure have an uptrend, right? Hey, nice, Dylan. Congrats on passing the eval. We are getting pretty dang close to passing the eval here as well. Pretty much just like one good trade away, so maybe that'll be today that we can get it. And yeah, especially don't trade today if it'll be your first day on a funded account. This is too, by now that you brought that up, this is like the last week for this 80% off sale, so take advantage of that. Anyway, like I said, we got an uptrend. That much is evident. You can definitely see some swing lows right here. This may be too wide. We'll see. You know, we had some up and down kind of range like action here, but we'll at least throw this up just in case, because you know, if you're just gonna do like a narrow channel that already had a break in new extreme, and then you know we continued above the EMA, still holding above the EMA, so that's giving you some indication that this is a larger move than just this. So we're going with this wider pattern for now. But you know, if you look, like if we would have started the day right here, I think you can clearly put a range around this area. So we can extend that out a little bit and see how prices react if they pull back to this level. Is that going to hold? If it does, that can present a really good trading opportunity. You know, if we can get a pullback to here, like a second entry long. Oops, that was a terrible drawing. Something like that. Second entry long right on the support. That would be really nice, and that would confirm both the fact that we have indeed broken out of the range, and also that this wider channel is valid. And we actually did kind of have that opportunity here, had a failed breakout, but then we immediately got back above. So that is, yeah, I think most everything is favoring a wider uptrend here. And yo, good morning, Yulian. I'm gonna put my just that note in there. Really like, I believe that was Matthew's idea yesterday. Start writing some text note on the chart, so that is cemented in there. And we are starting to get a little bit choppy right in here. It's not looking quite as good right there, but yeah, it'd be cool if we could get a nice two-legged pullback. I'd still trade a second entry if it looks really good. Oops. Okay, so what do we got here? It's 611. Oh man. With where the prices are, it will probably be right at open that this forms if it does. And we don't want to see too sharp of a pullback here. Like, the EMA has been faithfully holding prices. We dropped below it here, rallied above, dip below, rallied above. If we get below the EMA, we really would want to see it come above. So honestly, coming all the way back to the top of the range would not be ideal. Now that I'm looking at it, we really would just want a drop below the EMA and the second leg to form, you know, right in here. Let's extend this out. Hey Matthew, good morning. So we really would want this to form like this, right on the EMA, above it as well, closing above it. Again, this area is a little bit concerning. Just looks a little congested. Hey, good morning, Summit. Happy Thursday. I think that is what is today, right? Okay, whew. Sometimes I get confused on the days. Well, that technically is our first entry right there. As you can see, ticked above. So one more pullback, one more entry. If it looks nice, we will give it a go. Make sure there's no pending news or anything. Already had GDP, well, the preliminary GDP and unemployment claims. Both of which unemployment claims were better than expected. Other than that, we don't really have much news for today. There's like nothing that's gonna really impact the market. There's always news, there's always something, but nothing high impact. We are, looking at the daily chart on SPY, we're gapping up, obviously, and well into the May 23rd candle 2 days ago, that big drop. So we could continue a little rally here, challenge those highs again. Market is kind of shouldering all the recent news, and the FOMC minutes didn't do anything yesterday. That was kind of surprising. The bulls are not going away without a fight, that's for sure. Sorry for being muted. I just had to give some secret knowledge that you guys were not ready for. That's the deluxe package. If you just send me your social security numbers, I'll make sure to include you on that next time. No, what I was saying is that the second entry is not going to form right. This is all in one move. The first entry right here within the short-term trend. So the second entry is going to be below the EMA. Well, actually, maybe above the EMA if this bar closes right around here. But either way, we're within the short-term trend, so we're going to have to wait for a higher low to play the second entry here. And we may not even really get a second entry at all. Like, this might just drop off the face of the world. And maybe this channel is too wide. I'm going to flip over to the 10K chart just in case that has any more insight. Seeing pretty much the same channel. Yeah, you could definitely draw it narrower like this. It doesn't look as nice on the 10K chart. This range is pretty obvious though from earlier. Not looking great for our second entry so far. And we got 6 minutes to open. We'll see. I'll play it if we get that second entry and then a higher low that occurs, you know, right around here above the EMA. I'll still play it even on the open. This channel looks really good. And now that we have a break of it, we are expecting a new high to be formed. Hey, Jocko, good morning. I like how Jocko just says yes. That's how he enters a room. Yes. It is I. Alright guys, with 5 minutes till the open, see if this forms, and give the stream a like going into the open. I think that'll send good vibes, get the day started off right, and maybe, you know, with all that positive energy, we can get a setup right off the bat. Good morning, TT. Hey, Toad. The 2 legs after the first channel up are perfect measured moves. Oh no. Oh no. Let's check that out. Right here and right here. Yeah, that is a perfect measured move. Pretty much. Let's see, that might even be to the tick. Gosh, that is crazy. Look at that. Pretty much to the tick measured move, and it's turning down. That's a good eye, Brian. Thanks for that. And given the fact too that we never even touched the top of the channel, that is reason to be a little bit cautious, for sure. So keep that in mind. Also, it's yesterday's high. Well, there you go. But the EMA is what's going to tell the story. So if we get a second entry that comes above the EMA and then a higher low that confirms it and stays above, then that will definitely help our case. It will show that prices want to go higher, that things are indeed bullish. And I need to mark yesterday's high, apparently. See if there's any other key levels that I would be missing here. Good morning, Tick Hunter. Let's bring some of these suckers over. What's the possibility that we'll test today's low? Well, let's flip back to the chart and check it out. Okay, so some of these are insignificant now. Ooh, look at that. One of those high of days is right where the top of our range is. That is interesting. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of that guy. Get rid of that guy. That's crazy. That's right on the range high. Okay, so there's our second entry. Hey, yeah, good morning, neighbor. What's up, Big Spark? All right, so here's the big test, guys. Can we stay above the EMA? Will we get a higher low confirming? And there's a move back below the EMA, so in all likelihood, this is washed up. But the good thing, so we have this little downtrend, we have a break of it, and we're gonna get a new low. So that downtrend is now played out. Let's look at where the top of the range comes into play. If that offers support, well, nope. That is not going to offer support. Just sliced right through it. So let's play around with the idea. Perhaps a larger downtrend may be forming. Would it be unwise to take a second entry short if it forms right? No, it's gonna be fine. Look, it's not a. Now that we are this far down, you can eliminate the idea of a bullish trend day, or rather, it's not gonna be a runaway day, is what I mean. We could still get some bullish trends and stuff, but we're now into mixed trading. That we had a nice looking uptrend, had the chance to continue higher, coming out of the range, but now we're right back into the range. So that's what you got to play. I am going to leave the wider channel up right now, because we're still at about the 50% retracement from this move, so it still has a chance to be valid. If we go any lower though, I'm going to delete this bigger one. The drop and chop, that's what this pattern's called. So anyway, someone who asked, sorry, what is the likelihood we'll test the today's low toad? Well, I would say a lot more likely now. What I was going to say is it really depends on what happens right here. You know, if we would have put in a higher low, went above the EMA, and started moving towards a new high, I would say not very likely. But obviously things have changed, so the EMA is a good guide for those type of things. You get a move that looks pretty big and the EMA continues to hold, then that'll tell you you know, a larger trend's gonna be happening or price action's really strong. But we keep, you know, if you can make these big moves above the EMA and below the EMA, then you're just basically having a mixed trading day. Yeah, this is a wide channel down for sure. It might be an overshoot. We'll see how it reacts, but you know, it could be like this. I just overshot. We'll see. I'm keeping it wide just in case. That was a pretty strong move down, and so it might end up being true. We'll see what happens when prices get back to here. That'll be the real test. But since this move was so strong in and of itself, you might even consider just doing, you know, a channel just from that move it by itself. And, you know, favoring the shorter moves is definitely better when we're in a range like day. So you might consider that. I'm going to have this on though. The midline is holding. Yeah, and looking at the chart here, the SPY chart, there's still plenty of gap to be filled to yesterday's close. That whole move, you know, is just one candle on the 5-minute chart, so this will be pretty important to see what happens here, if we get continuation, or if this all gets reversed. We're really just chopping around now at the bottom here. Strong rejection here. Didn't even try to get above the EMA after this big move down. Yeah, it looks like prices are pretty intent on making a gap fill here. Big spark. Talk about my background a little bit. I'm a pretty simple dude. I don't have any. My background's in education. Actually, I was a classroom teacher. Been involved in the markets for a long time, but really only threw myself into price action trading a couple years ago. And have been fortunate enough to have the circumstances where I really could do that, you know, devote a lot of time to it. So, yeah, I learned a lot from Pete Stolzers, who is the owner of One Option Trading, it's a trading platform and a community centered around stock trading. So if anyone is interested in trading stocks, definitely go check them out. Read a lot of Al Brooks, watched a lot of his videos, and then obviously you know, watched a lot of Pat's videos as well. So taken, you know, learned a lot from a lot of different folks, and the main thing is just a lot of practice, man. A lot of looking at charts. I do a lot of practice after hours as well. I keep telling people that you gotta do this like load old charts, go through the entire day candle by candle, mark the trades you would have taken. It's incredible how much practice you can get in a short amount of time. Go through days of charts. So yeah, that's a little bit about Joe. All right, so we never reached the bottom of the channel here. So this is kind of a strange move down, hard to trust, really. Man, oh man. We had a short-term uptrend here, so cannot really take a second entry short. And this technically would be our second entry short. We already had a little dip below right here. I don't think you can see that right here. There's a tiny dip below, so that is technically our first entry short. But I would really treat this as just kind of the base. I don't think there's any reason to. This just looks like the all one bottom, so I'd reset the count here. Still waiting on our first entry. We'll see how EMA reacts. I think that is kind of the essential piece here, because this channel doesn't look great. It really hasn't been confirmed yet. There we go. We get a nice turn down right at the top of the channel, so that's a good sign. That technically was our second entry, or could be considered the first entry. Let's see if we can get a lower high that confirms it. However, the short-term trend here had a break, expecting a new high. Looks like we were going to get that. Actually, I guess we technically did get it here, but anyway, we got a new high now, so let's see if we can turn down. Little area of consolidation here as well. As you can see, this like little area consolidation, breakout that is now failing. This is kind of tough, guys. I'm not gonna lie, this is a little bit tricky price action. We might get two little legs of this bullish move. And yeah, exactly, Brian. Look at those wicks. Yeah, that reversal pattern, the failed second entry short here, is also failing. This is starting to get to be a mess. We are eating the 240 EMA, according to Brian. All right, I believe that's the measured move right there of our short-term correction. Eating that 240 for breakfast. Well, at least today's not boring, guys. At least we got something going on. Oh, dang. There you go. Well, that is 2 wide channels. Looks like that may not get a new low. Very strange price action. This really might be just maybe we should keep it really tight today. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's wild. This could be a little overshoot of this short-term channel here. Faces, what is up? It will all make sense later, that is for sure. That is for sure. That is how price action goes. Sometimes things are lining up really nice and you can see exactly what's playing out and you know what you're looking for, and then sometimes you get some crazy action. You're like, dude, I have no idea what's going on right now. Later, Big Spark. Take care. You know, we never filled the gap either. So that's interesting. We did bounce off yesterday's high of day for sure, but you'd think on a big move down like this, we would actually reach down and fill the gap, which is, where is that? Right about here. So that's where we would expect prices to go, the gap fill. Matter of fact, I'm going to mark that here. Thanks, Big Spark, man. It is. I forgot, man. It's gonna be Memorial Day weekend. That's crazy. So market's closed on Monday, huh? Yeah, enjoy your extended weekend for sure. And there we go, just like that. Reaching back down towards a new low. And PECE tomorrow. Man, oh man. nearly have a new low on our channel. This does make me feel better, to be honest, that we moved down. You had this big channel. This is a break. And we were expecting a new low. Looks like we're going to get that. So that does make me feel better. And even this correction channel had an overshoot, which often leads to correction or reversal. That's exactly what happened. So, whew, price action is starting to make a little bit more sense right now. So that's good. That is a good thing. I'm looking at the larger channel earlier. We did have a little break right here, so that actually makes sense as well. Break of the channel. New high is formed. That one's played out, so price action is playing out. I feel a lot better about that. Now let's see if we can get to the bottom of the range and maybe get a buy opportunity. We will have to be cautious again. That this gap may fill. So if we get a breakdown of the range here, prices will likely want to go fill that gap. Okay, yeah, tick. I mean, it is, right? It technically is. Oftentimes you can ignore little stuff like that, and we would if we just kept on going up, but the fact that we reversed so strongly, it's like, what the heck happened? So that could be it. That could be our small little break. And it looks like we do have officially, no, we don't have a new low. We have equal lows down there. It's a little bit too late now to look for the sell. Didn't make a new low, but we did make equal lows. Sometimes that's enough and the market will reverse, and given the action today, would not be surprised. Would I take a second entry short if it formed down here? I might, but I would be really cautious about it for the reason I just mentioned, that we have a equal lows here, so you know, technically expecting a new low. So would expect prices to come down, but sometimes, again, this is enough for the market to just bounce. So just watching the EMA closely, we'll see how it forms. So far, this is kind of forming strange, but let's see how the EMA holds prices here. We're incepting. I like that. Range within a range. Okay, so this would be our second entry short. Man, oh man, this is tempting here. Unless it gets huge. I wouldn't want it to be any larger than this. And it is pretty sideways, Brian, exactly. Yeah, we're too far down now. Can't play this. Oh, okay. Well, we still have a chance. Still have a chance. This could tick above and turn down. That would be a triple test now, too. Might even take it off the double bar. There's our tick above. Let's see if it turns down rapidly. Nope. Not looking great for that second entry short. And so this is exactly why I said, you know, you might want to be cautious with that. Man. Yeah, see, now we got a doji. I was gonna enter if that last one had closed below the EMA, but this is just looking dicey right now. Although you have two little legs of correction here. Watch, it's gonna happen on this little inside bar above the EMA. It's gonna all of a sudden rocket down. We'll see how this one closes. Hey, bad vibes, good morning. So there's our second entry short. It looks like it's failing. So that's why you got to be a little bit cautious when you've made a double bottom like this. Even though you're expecting a new low, sometimes this is enough for the market and you'll just go the other way. Yeah, that's the thing. You don't at the same time want to look for a failed second entry short because it still can make a new low. I think that's pretty risky. This is formed pretty high up, so it worked out, but you didn't have a ton of room before the 100 EMA. Formed really high up there. So I don't know. I don't think you wanted to really take either of them. Hindsight, exactly, Brian. Exactly. Hindsight is always 20/20. But given all this action, is that a failure you want to buy? You know, are you looking when prices come down here? Is this like, hey, let's try to buy? I don't know. A little bit too uncertain for me. So I do have a little overshoot right here. We'll see if that actually acts as an overshoot. And we also had, you know, if we were looking at just this first little correction channel right here, we have a break and a new high. So we should, according to price action, probably go down now. Maybe even test a new low. Big spark, you just couldn't actually leave, huh? I couldn't get enough. How it goes. Yeah, thank you though. Home sales, yeah, I was gonna say. Maybe we can get a failed second entry long here. Always gotta have that eye on the market for sure. I know how it is. Okay, there's our first entry long. And the news just hit as well, so be a little bit cautious here. And a new high. First entry to a new high. Well, this is doubly played out. Nice, Jocko. I'm really glad that trade worked out for it. Good failure. Not my cup of tea, not within my risk profile, but glad you got something out of it. Might have a little inception action right around here. Range within a range. Yeah, psychology is everyone's killer, man. Trading itself, honestly, is not that hard. There's plenty of edges that you can find in the markets, just being able to actually execute them, you know? That's really what it comes down to. Now, I'm not drawing this wider channel because I think it'll actually be legit, but as I've said before, sometimes these wider channels within a range can lead to some really good traps. Actually, this might be a great trap right here. This would be a failed second entry long. I might, oh shoot, I'm gonna be too late on this. Come on, baby, come fill me. There we go. Oh boy. I may have jumped the gun on that. We still have news, so we'll see. We'll see. I think I'm gonna get stopped out though. Ah, shoot. Bummer. Bummer. Yeah, I may have been a little impulsive, especially with the news right here, but I had a first entry right here, second entry right here. And I played it on the engulfing. That was probably my mistake. If I would have waited for this to trigger, never actually triggered. So I don't usually play the engulfing. I thought it was going to be a runaway one, so I kind of jumped in quick, but I should have just waited and my order would have been right here, never would have got triggered, and would have just walked away unscathed. So that confirms that I don't usually, yeah, that confirms that I don't really like to play the engulfing. The engulfing entry, Jocko, would just be right here, where it ticked higher and then engulfed this bar right here. From the high, you never actually made the move down, break lower than the other bar to get the first entry higher. It's just a inside bar mess. Interesting. Oh, I see what you're talking about, Brant. You're right. You're right. Yeah, we had a high here and we never actually pulled back. That's a good point. I didn't even notice that. This was the first pullback right here. So this is actually our first entry. We haven't even got the second entry. Man, yep, that's what I get for jumping in. I thought I had read it right and tried to just get in because I thought it was going to go on really quick. But yeah, goes to show you gotta take the time. And if you haven't, like if you're not aware, what am I trying to say? Like before you enter, if you're not like, okay, here's what I'm going to do, and planning it out previously, then not a good time to do that. So I usually always like know the setup I'm going to take, and have seen it like 5-6 bars before it happens. That was one of those rare instances where I was like, oh, it's there, and I thought I recognized it, but it wasn't. So yeah, Matthew, so to have a first entry on anything, you have to have a pullback. So from this high here, we never actually had a pullback. So prices, in order to have a pullback, prices have to go lower than the previous bar. So from here, prices never went lower here. That was an equal low. So our first pullback was right here. And then this was the first entry. Whereas I thought we had pulled back here and this was the first entry. And because of all that, I did miss an actually good setup right here. Beautiful rejection right off of this resistance. From this swing low, it is a second entry short. Is that the one you got, Brant? So, yep. Bummer way to start the day on just a stupid mistake, not reading the market right. But that does happen. Yeah, that second entry short was also a triple test, so that was a good play right there. If you ended up getting this trade right here, that was a solid one. I don't even know how to draw that channel, man. That's just so choppy and weird. And it looks kind of like a repeat, like this wider channel right here had this small break and moved to a new extreme. It looks like we have that right here. Just a small little break, move to a new high, and then we're going down. Now we have this move down, a break, moving to a new low. Let's see if we have any resistance here at the bottom. Another buy could set up right down here. Got a feeling we're just going to slice through this though at this point. But we shall see. It's for sure fleshy. Brian, I like that word. Fleshy. Yep, here we go. He's calling out that measured move, Jocko, for sure. Was just thinking about that. And look at that. The measured move is going to lead right into the gap fill. So prices have to go down there now. They just have to. Or I don't mean now, but at some point. So I'm even going to tease the idea of a wider channel here because I think that the likelihood of us continuing down is high. Yeah, Zippins, that's how it works. Yeah, let's all go short, right? Yeah, you go first. It definitely could bounce here, for sure. Man, yeah, this is just kind of a sketch area, isn't it? It is looking like that narrower channel is likely more relevant because we just kind of moved out of it like this, never even touched the bottom. So I think I'm going to delete this wider one. Oh man, I was just about to say if we could get a nice wick down here that turns into a bullish hammer, I'd consider buying. Maybe if we can get a higher low right here, I'd consider that. We do have to move down quite a bit though. I'm not going to buy way up here. Jocko, get out of here with those gambles. Brant, you're right on with the debt ceiling stuff though. If that's still happening next week, a couple cheap puts for sure, not a bad idea. Those could really pay off. I mean, if we default, sayonara, man, it's gonna be a crazy Crazy drop. No, we only had our first entry short. Sorry, Jocko. Sorry about your trade. Not looking so good. Woo. Dang, that's a nice bar. Oh man, I was too late on that. Man. I moved up too high. I was about to buy that. Dang, dude. I think I would have scalped out already. What are we at? Yeah, I would have scalped out. And that's why you wait for higher lows. Man, I'm really disappointed. Yeah, for sure. But even if we don't default, just you know, if the can gets kicked and there hasn't been a deal reached, that could also drop the market. I'm trying not to maybe you guys can help me out. I'm trying not to get bummed out. You know, starting off the day with the loser, never good. And then I was trying to get into this thing. Would have been a winner, so that's pretty disappointing. Would have been the chance to make it back. Wasn't quick on the draw, and so I missed the chance, so really hate that. That's really hard to deal with mentally. I don't know if that helps me, Zippins, but sorry to hear that. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Yeah, if I've been a help to anyone out there on just staying patient and trying to wait for the best trades, then that does make it worth it for sure. There's always another move to make. That was for sure. Big Spark. Thank you. Yep. Market's not going anywhere. Market's not going anywhere. Just got to take high probability trades. Got to wait for the stars to align. Yeah, Brent, you know, that's not a bad idea sometimes to just buy support, sell resistance in a really confirmed range. Would have worked here and here and here for sure. I mean, it depends on how big your stop is, though. You know, if you're doing too tight of a stop, it might not work out for you. You have to give it a little bit of room just in case there's like a little failed breakout or something. That's the thing that will trip you up, is that failed breakouts are really designed to do just that. You know, lure in some specs the other way, flush out the stops, and then reverse. So that would be the only thing that would, I think, be a little bit sketch about just completely buying support or selling resistance. Dang, look at that. Someone play some Zeppelin because the levee's about to break. The levee's dry only when you take your Chevy to it. Yeah, it will bounce hard if they can't go lower, but this is where it gets a little dicey to buy because we were not able to go anywhere on this bounce, right? Came all the way back down, so you want to be really careful about buying this because this is when they're going to tick it higher and then just boom, it's going to drop. You got a clear bearish imbalance here, you know, made the highs both times and now couldn't even get to the midline and we're turning down. But at the same time, you don't want to go short because you know, this could really bounce. And like, who was saying it? Someone was saying bounce could be violent. Absolutely can. Yeah, Jocko. So this is really just a trap zone either way, because there's going to be shorts accumulating here and longs. People are going both ways. And one side is going to get trapped, but unfortunately it's not very clear which that will be. Or both, yeah, that's true. That could really happen. You get a bounce here, trap all the shorts, and then boom, trap all the longs. Matthew, I don't think you would want to take that engulfing hammer here because this short-term trend was still in play. So you had to be cautious of that. That could easily have broken here and then made a new high. I got a feeling it's going to break to the downside. No way to really play it. Unless we get a nice looking failed breakout above this mini range and that ends a nice bearish hammer, I might consider that. Hunter, what if you see the first big bull bar and then a couple candles after that made the higher low as the break? Yeah, the problem with that though is then your trend is just one candle, right? I mean, that's not really a trend. Okay, we got some movement to the upside. Let's see what happens. Still got that bearish imbalance. Break out of the mini range. We're at the low of the range. And it looks like shorts are going to get crushed. Or like Brian said, maybe both. Right now, shorts are getting crushed. And then maybe longs will get crushed too. We'll see. Oh wow, faces. That's crazy. I don't usually have the ticks up, but they haven't been above 200 all day. That's nuts. Have there been any really low readings? Or has it all just been kind of crappy low numbers both ways? Like, has it got to negative 1,000? Negative 500, yeah, so no conviction really either way. Which is pretty much what we're seeing in the action. That's when you get ranges. So still have a bearish bias, still expecting us to come down, fill this gap, reach that measured move. But we could also get the measured move of this, you know what I mean? So that's what's crazy about ranges and why they can be really tricky. You got people really wanting a breakout one way or the other. Zippins, how do you feel about a down channel from the top of the range? I don't like it. Too wide, way too wide. And we're already breaking that. Yeah, that's just way too wide. Never even touched the bottom. Now we're breaking it. You want to try to avoid those wide channels at all costs in a trading range. Have this move up. Here's our first break, so expecting a new high, and then maybe we can start that drop towards the low of the day there. Ed Collins think we're a pause area. Well, the market doesn't seem to care too much about that statement. Boy, oh boy, here we go. Today has been the day of just like these seemingly random drops and rallies. Tough price action today. If you're struggling today, don't be discouraged. It's not an easy one. This was the trade of the day right here. I really wish I would have been able to bend a little quicker. Higher low off range support. Here's our first entry. Hunter, good question. In a range, the EMA does not really matter that much. If you have a healthy range like this, continually touching the bottoms and the tops, the EMA is just going to kind of be floating in the middle. You know, it's going to be floating in the middle. You can see prices are going above it, below it, above it, below it. So I wouldn't worry about the EMA. What you need to worry about is short-term channels. So right here, you had to move down and a break in a new low. So there's no downtrend in play. Bottom of the range, higher low. That's a great setup. This is just violent price action is what this is. Just violent. Like 4.5 point bar here out of nowhere. Completely reversed by another 4.5 point bar. And then we're dropping again. Like this is just not good stuff. Flushy and wedgy. Yep. I wonder if there's someone, you know, some bigwig Wolf of Wall Street guy out there, you know, in some corner office in New York saying that things are flushy and wedgy. I gotta believe, you know. I don't think those guys are as complex as they're made out to be. They probably say the same stuff. Hey, Gary, good morning. Now it looks like we have almost a new little range forming here, basically between the support and the midline. So the range is just getting smaller and smaller with more violent bars. If that trend continues, then essentially we're going to be in like a 1-point range that's just bar up, bar down, bar up, bar down. Technically, we have a second entry long here. First entry, pullback. Second entry, this would be a higher low confirmation above the EMA. Could consider taking that, but look at this, dude. Look at these bars. Look at the EMA. Super flat, middle of the range. By the count, it's good, but you do not want to, really, you don't want to mess with all this. And it's working out. And that's the problem. You see a setup like that and you're like, oh man, that worked out. I'm going to take it next time. Well, next time you're going to get rocked. So yeah, and like Brian said, it was also a second entry short. So like, I mean, this is wedgy, right? Like you got very identifiable like triangle going on here. So triangles almost act like trading ranges, to be honest. You get a breakout and then they usually fail one way or the other. It's really gross price action. Yeah, 5-minute looks terrible. 10K, I'm assuming, looks pretty terrible. Actually, it looks a lot more orderly on the 10K. This actually looks like sensible price action here. Looks like just a range. A normal range. Looks like we are reaching for a new high here of this short-term trend. And maybe we will even get to the fabled top of the range. Imagine that. And if that can happen, I'll look for a sell there. This range has been pretty healthy for the most part, even with the violent episodes. We just don't want to see the move be too strong to the top of the range. That's the main thing. Want to see some nice choppy price action that kind of drifts up here. But this is looking pretty strong, unfortunately. Here we go, some red bars. This is promising. Again, the main thing I'm looking for here is for things not to be too strong going into the top of the range. We already have 2 legs of this bullish move. Oops, what the heck am I doing? I don't want that. We have 2 legs of this bullish move. So we're not worried about a larger bull channel. Unfortunately, we might drop off here before even testing the top. Love to see one more push up, a nice bearish bar right around here that we could short. All right, here we go, guys. Let's see what happens. Again, we don't want this to just slice through the top of the range. Want to see some signs of resistance. Do want it to get a little bit higher, and we could possibly fudge this down slightly, but there's still some wicks up here. That candle's up there, so you want to err on the side of caution when it comes to setting the top of the range. Gosh, just want to see it come a little bit higher before I feel comfortable taking a short. That was a doji anyway. Oof, there we go. Look at that. This looks like news almost. On the 5-minute, that bar gapped up. That's crazy. Yeah, now's when you want to look for the failed breakout. Just got to be cautious. This was pretty strong. I'll wait for a lower high to confirm the failed breakout. I'm not just going to take the first candle, I don't think. Could have this going on. But this is a pretty decent candle to take a chance on. Not a huge amount of risk. If you're a bit more aggressive, you can take that trade right there. But I'll wait for a lower high here. Again, being cautious of possible bull trend, possible support here. But we want to see the lower high actually close back inside the range. So far, the top of the range is holding. That's definitely not what you want to see. So that's making the failed breakout less likely here. NQ is ripping. That's good to know. Top of the channel, or sorry, top of the range still holding. So you don't want to see this. You don't want to see all this support forming here. Okay, now we're back into the range. And there you go. See if we can push up here and get one lower high. This would have worked. That was the trade right there. If you had the guts to pull the trigger there, worked out nice. It's hard, man. It's hard when you have a pretty strong move up like that to just trust that the range is going to hold. I just wanted to see one lower high to confirm it. That I would have joined that, but yeah. Oh, here come the trolls. Here come the trolls. Why are you playing the downside? The trend is up. Do I engage with that, guys? I don't know. Someone explain to him why we're looking on the downside. All right, just for fun, Duckins. I'm gonna assume the best. And like when Bad Vibes came in here, I thought he was trolling, but he was legit. So check it out. First of all, look at Spy's chart today. I'll pull it in for you. This is this 5-minute chart. That there's nothing that says up about this. All right, this is just choppy range action here. That's the 5-minute chart from today. Maybe in the last hour it's gone up, but overall today is not a trend day. Okay, so that's that. And then if you just look at, zoom out, always zoom out. We're in a range, man. Look at this, over and over. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. The majority of breakouts of a trading range will fail. So you get a breakout here, This is a prime example. Right here, break out of this trading range. Everyone's thinking short. Look, man, trend's been down for the last, hour. Okay, boom. We got a failure. And right here again, breakout. Oh, look, everything's bullish. We're going up. We've been going up for the last hour. Boom, failure. So, I'm gonna explain it because I'm gonna assume the best about people and let them prove themselves wrong. So, that's why, Duckins, welcome, by the way. We're in a range, and the majority of breakouts from a trading range will fail. So when we're at the top of a trading range, we're looking for opportunities to sell, and that's exactly what happened. Yeah, Duckins, I was just referencing, there's another guy that came in here with literally the screen name Bad Vibes, and he was like criticizing something. And I was like, oh, well, obviously this dude's a troll. His name's Bad Vibes, and he's like, coming after me. But it turned out he he was legit. So I want to assume the best out of people. Dang, this is going to be a second entry long right here. His vibes were okay. That's the thing about Bad Vibes. Bad Vibes has got good vibes. Bad Vibes if you're out there. What's up? What's up? You were here earlier. The second entry long is almost tempting at this point. If you're wrong, you're still right. We like you, Bad Vibes. I like that phrase, Brian. Always assume the best. If you're wrong, you're still right. I love that. That was a wonderful phrase. Man, this little this bull trend is holding. Man, this is really tempting to take this second entry long, and maybe that's exactly why I should not take it. Yeah, coming off the range highs. We do have two legs here. I don't know. I'll wait for a higher low. Congested anyway, for sure. Triple test though, too. 1, 2, 3 tests. It's tempting for sure, but I think, maybe if I... Yeah, I'll wait for a higher low. This might work out. Good luck to you if you entered. Looks like you did just fine. Dang, dude. Man, that's 2 trades that I saw. It's tempting to take. I was thinking about taking it. Man, oh man. Did anyone take that? Did anyone... Actually, there's 3 trades. I was really looking at this failed breakout. That worked out. Second entry long. That worked out. A higher low earlier. Worked out. 3 trades. Yeah, to be honest, Jocko, really the only reason I feel bad, I don't usually feel bad about missing trades, but just the fact that I took a dumb loss this morning, just off an error, it's got me razzled, I think, a little bit. That's true, Brant. Thank you for slapping some sense into me. Long term, yeah. Long term, you're right. Long term, you're right. We were coming off the top of a range. It's best to favor the overall structure. And, you know, probability-wise, we were going to continue downward. Yep. Appreciate all the support, guys. Really, really. That's super helpful. We all have bad days. Today's one of those for me. Jocko, oh boy. I wish you the best on that, man. Yeah, I may not have gotten out. Let's see. Yeah, I would have gotten out. I would have gone for a 1.5. I'll go short 2, Brant, if we can push below the EMA. The EMA is kind of flattening out here. And we're starting to get a little bit of support right in here. But if we can push below that and get a nice lower high, I'll take that. Yeah, technically it is a failure, Jocko. We had first entry, second entry, and that is failing. It's getting really congested though. That's what you got to be careful of. Both ways. I'm pretty ready to delete this larger channel as well. EMA is still holding. I don't know, the long honestly feels better at this point. We're still, EMA is holding. We have that first entry, second entry long. This bar kind of looks like a higher low. I would almost favor the long side here just to at least make a new high. That would have worked out if you took that. Ooh, look at this nice bearish bar off the resistance. Little fail break out of our mini range. That's kind of tempting as well. Both sides are really tempting here. That's the problem. And that's a second entry short. Oof. All right, close doji. Won't even have to worry about that. Yeah, we need more price action for sure. Tough day, man. Tough day. There's been some good setups, and for me personally it's been tough just because I took a bad one and then have seen, you know, this workout, which I was looking at, Failed breakout workout, which I was looking at, the second entry long workout, which I was looking at. So 3 setups. That's messing with my head a little bit, so I need to call it before I jump into something, just because I want to jump into something. So yeah, tough price action today for sure. There's been a lot of areas that have just been whippy and haven't made a whole lot of sense. So one of those days where slowing down, and for me, taking a break is going to be helpful. So hope y'all are doing well today. Hope you're all doing better than me. Trade safe out there, man. Wait for the high probability trades. It's wonderful being with you guys this morning. Appreciate all the support, all the reminders and everything. It's been really helpful. So we'll be back at it tomorrow to finish off the week strong, and I will catch y'all later.